Moving from there, we had Bray Wyatt versus Orton, or we almost did, before it was revealed earlier on in the day, and they solidified it on the show itself, that Orton was still injured. So this is what makes no sense to me. This really had me scratching my head like, this is just so typical of this company. So Orton apparently is still injured from SummerSlam, legitimately still injured from SummerSlam, not fucking storyline. Obviously, he was really busted open at the hands of Lesnar at SummerSlam, and I didn't notice it until this report came out early Sunday, hours before the pay-per-view, that Orton has not wrestled at all since that show. I completely forgot about the fact that he hasn't wrestled since then. He hasn't wrestled on house shows, SmackDown TV, whatever. Orton has not been in action since SummerSlam. So it checks out. The story checks out. Yet you have him come down in... Oh, so I'll get to that in a second, I guess. But the whole fucking Wyatt and Kane fiasco. So the question on my mind, and everyone else's mind at this point, is that why the fuck would you advertise a match that you think might be in jeopardy? In a major match of this, it's not like you're doing Baron Corbin and Apollo Crews, and Corbin's still injured. If it doesn't happen, who the hell cares? This was a major match. The semi-main, I know the tag team title match went on after this, but it was really the second biggest match on the show. Fresh feud, match could have been good. The feud's been all right so far. So they shit the bed. Why? Why the fuck would you advertise that? Why not just build towards it? If you didn't think that Orton, if they had no idea, if they were told that Orton would be cleared in a matter of a week or two, then I could see why they would advertise the match. But beyond that, if they had zero clue when he would be cleared to compete by officials, by doctors, whatever, then why would you advertise a match for involving a guy that you have no idea when he's going to be back in the ring? It could be a week, it could be a month, it could be several months, and you never know with Orton. This guy, was taking out the trash. Literally, this is a true story. Guy was taken to the trash one day, popped his shoulder or something happened with his shoulder, out for fucking 9 months. So again, anything can happen to Randy Orton. He is very injury prone. That much is obvious. I know this was a concussion issue and not a shoulder issue. So that part one of that did not make any sense at all. So then logically we had Kane versus Bray Wyatt, which just made me go to sleep. I just don't care. Honestly, did not pay attention for most of the match. And when I did, it was not good. They gave it a no holds barred stipulation. For what reason? Again, I have no idea. There were a lot of things about this whole fiasco, this feud, that made no sense. So they give the match a no-holds-barred stipulation, maybe thinking that the match would be better as a result. I don't really know. But it really wasn't. It was just kind of there. So Wyatt's about to win. Out comes Randy Orton to hit an RKO out of nowhere on Bray Wyatt. Kane capitalizes and scores the victory. Yes, Kane beating Bray Wyatt in 2016. What the fuck? Really? I mean, I realized that Orton was not able to compete, and it's like a house show thing, and it's not like it was the main event, but you wanted to make up for that fact by having the babyface go over. No, save that shit for the house shows. Wyatt really should have won here. The guy is so dead. Can you really... this is a serious question. Can you really do more damage to Bray Wyatt than what has already been done? Honest question. I feel like, and I've said it time and time again, that this guy is just... He wins some, he loses some, and I feel like he loses a lot more than he wins. And when he wins, it means nothing. He beat New Day at Battleground for what? For what? A tag team title match? No. For the feud to continue? No. It was dropped. It was dropped as soon as it started. So what the hell was the point of that? Oh, man, before that, what was the last real match that Wyatt family won? TLC? A year ago? 9 months ago? When they beat the fucking ECW Originals? I would be shocked if they lost to them just because... Actually, not really, just because Kane beat Bray Wyatt, I guess, and he's an Attitude Era star, too. But that went nowhere. They were building up the Wyatt family for a feud with Brock Lesnar. That went nowhere. Before that, they beat Roman Reigns, Chris Jericho, and Dean Ambrose in Night of Champions. Yet, Bray Wyatt would lose the feud anyway at Hell in a Cell. So, again, I ask you, what the fuck was the point of all this shit? Really, this was just a complete waste. I enjoyed the show on the whole, but this was just a glaring weakness on this entire thing. It really made no sense. The match wasn't good. And then to top it all off of things that were completely illogical involving this angle, if Orton is apparently concussed, and Orton has denied these reports on Twitter, so I have no idea what the deal is there. So if he's concussed, or if he's still injured, or not cleared, or whatever the hell the deal might be, why Why would you have him hit an RKO? In this match, he wrestled the next night on a SmackDown house show, which did awful attendance, by the way, which is not surprising when you run a show opposite of an NFL game also in the area, and Raw that same night, so what do they expect? Anyway, though, they probably should check up. Don't they have people to check that kind of stuff out, like to find out if they have other like games or shows happening at the same time that WWE has their shows? I feel like there's a person that should have that job, and if there is a person who has that job, they're not doing a very good job. Anyway, this whole thing made no sense. Why Orton would hit the RKO if he's still apparently concussed, I don't know. Orton says he's not. It wasn't really specific. He just kind of alluded to it in a Twitter Q&A a few days ago, so I'm really confused. It's getting to the point where I might not even care about this feud anymore, and I hate to say that just because I've been looking forward to this feud for close to 2 to 3 years at this point. And really, now it's just, oh man, like what's the point? Like, I mean, they had Eric Rowan randomly reunite with Bray Wyatt on SmackDown on Tuesday. For what reason? I'm still trying to figure that the fuck out. I don't know. I really don't know anymore with Bray Wyatt. And I can't bring myself to care anymore either.